Welcome to the life map of Jed Davis. As I was working on this, I realized I could spend all 5 minutes just listing people's names because when I think about all the situations that have shaped my life, they always deal with people and people that got me through something or that helped me in some way or that were with me to celebrate something. But I like to look at my life, like a book with different chapters. And so I'm going to take you through my life. The first chapter would be elementary school. I grew up in the Northeast. That's where my dad's side of the family's from. And every day after school, I would ride my bike to my grandmother's office. She was the vice president of Mount Holyoke College, and she taught me how to play chess and cribbage and backgammon, and that had a huge impact on my life. The other thing is the library there. When I really started to love to read. I can vividly remember my dad and I walking, not driving, but walking to the library. And he introduced me to books like the Hardy Boys series and different things like that, that I really look back and go, that really kindled my love of reading and learning at that time. Also, in the top right hand corner, you can see the names of some people that I still keep up with. That's not everybody that had an impact on me, but those are people that I still keep up with. Then in junior high and high school, the lovely picture in the top left hand corner is because I'm an eternal optimist. It doesn't mean I think every day is going to be the best day ever, but I do believe in the philosophy of everything happens for a reason. God's in control of my life. Church and youth group were a huge part of my life in junior high and high school. They really laid the foundation, and church still is a huge part of my life. I had a little sister that's in special ed, and so those people hold a special place in my heart as well. And so did sports. I played every sport growing up, and that had a huge impact on me and my work ethic and getting along with other people. The crystal meth in the bottom right hand corner of that picture is because my dad was addicted to crystal meth for a long, long time. So I understand how that can impact a family. And I also know what it's like to go to NA meetings and be there in support of a family member. To me, the biggest picture, though, is the one in the middle, the man in the mirror. And fortunately for me, when I was growing up and we remodeled our house, we had a big mirror in my bathroom upstairs. And I have Crohn's disease. It's something I've battled since junior high. Well, I spent a lot of time in the bathroom, junior high and high school, and I would have conversations with myself in that mirror. And those conversations, I still do it to this day. If I'm going to have a hard conversation with somebody, or I'm going to have a conversation with a friend that I don't know how it's going to go, or with my wife, I might have that conversation in the mirror 10 times, 20 times. It's not uncommon for me to do that almost on a daily basis. Sometimes it's a 10-second conversation, sometimes it's a 20-minute conversation. But that has shaped me. I do it before an interview, before anything big. So the man in the mirror. And I also like it because no matter what anybody says, as long as I can look in the mirror and be happy with what that guy has done and what effort he has put in, I can live with myself. In college, I was a member of the Sigma Nu fraternity. I also played college baseball for the Razorbacks, and that was my dream to play in the pros. But then I had shoulder surgery. But that shoulder surgery led me to volunteer coaching. I coached a little league baseball team, and that really changed the trajectory of my life. I went from going to be in the business world to deciding to teach and coach. My first job was at Rogers. It's where I met my wife. We didn't have my son yet at that time, but that was the furthest picture I could find back. But that was my first job, was in Rogers, Arkansas, a wealthy part of the state. My next job coaching football and teaching was in Dumas in the southeast part of the state. I saw a whole nother side of the world living in the Delta. Also, it's where I got my master's in teaching, was from the University of Arkansas at Monticello. Then we went to Mayflower. I was the youngest head football coach in Arkansas. I got the job at 24, and coaching was a huge part of my life. It's where we had both of our kids. It's where I got my ed leadership from Harding University. And the picture of me and Pat Rainey hugging is just an example of everywhere I went, people is what I remember. I remember the people from Mayflower, the people from Dumas, the people from Rogers. The Do Life 5K tour, my dad and brother and I. You can see where we traveled. We traveled to the United States that summer of 2011 doing 5Ks with anybody that would want to join us. It was a 2-month experience that was phenomenal. Then we moved to Marion. It's where I became interested in podcasts. And the Learning Leaders, my favorite one. These are some of my former players. And you see a picture of me in Arizona. My brother walked across the United States, and I spent a week with him doing that. You see the pictures of my kids. Because everything that I went through in Marion, it was either involved my kids, my family, or the football team. And so that's why those things are so important to me. And now I'm at Prairie Grove. It's where I've got my superintendent certification. I'm working my doctorate here at Texas A&M Texarkana. I've gotten back into adventure racing. I've gotten back into doing Ironmans. My kids are a huge part of my life, whether we're going to athletic events or academic events. It's just a huge part of it. And as you can see, everywhere I go, yes, I've experienced things or I've had situations that have helped shape me. But more than anything else, it's the people. It's the people that I remember. It's the people that helped me. And that's how I remember each chapter of my book.